In this podcast episode, the host interviews Dave Rubin, a prominent political commentator and author. The conversation revolves around the upcoming 2024 election, the implications of political choices, and the broader societal issues at play. Rubin articulates his beliefs and values, providing insights into the current political landscape and the motivations behind various political movements. Rubin emphasizes that his political decisions are driven by a desire for equal rights and equal protection under the law for all individuals, regardless of their identity markers. He expresses a strong belief in the foundational principles of the United States, which he argues have historically bent towards justice. He critiques identity politics, asserting that it has infiltrated institutions and societal discourse, detracting from the core values of individual rights and freedoms. He advocates for a light touch of government, suggesting that the federal government should primarily focus on protecting life, liberty, and property rights, rather than expanding its reach into various aspects of citizens' lives. Rubin's perspective is rooted in a historical understanding of American governance, where he believes the federal government was designed to do very little beyond maintaining order and protecting citizens. He argues that most responsibilities should be delegated to the states, allowing for a more localized approach to governance. This belief in decentralization reflects his desire for individual empowerment and autonomy, which he sees as essential for a thriving society. When discussing the role of government, Rubin asserts that it should be minimal and focused on essential functions, such as maintaining borders and ensuring that states do not engage in conflict with one another. He critiques the current state of government overreach, arguing that many of the issues facing society today stem from an overly expansive government that seeks to control various aspects of life. He believes that a more restrained government would allow individuals to flourish and make choices that align with their values and needs. Rubin's vision of government aligns with the principles laid out in the U.S. Constitution, which he believes should guide the actions of elected officials. He argues that the federal government has strayed from its intended purpose, leading to inefficiencies and a lack of accountability. By advocating for a return to limited government, he hopes to foster an environment where citizens can take charge of their lives and communities without excessive interference from bureaucratic institutions. The conversation shifts to the pressing issue of national debt, which Rubin views as a significant concern for the future of the United States. He likens the situation to a classic mafia narrative, where debt can lead to dire consequences if not managed properly. He expresses skepticism about the government's ability to pay off the national debt, suggesting that the current trajectory is unsustainable. He warns that the implications of unchecked debt could lead to a crisis that affects the entire nation. Rubin's analysis of the debt crisis highlights the importance of fiscal responsibility and the need for politicians to address spending issues rather than simply seeking more revenue. He critiques the tendency of politicians to promise benefits without considering the long-term consequences of their actions. By advocating for a more responsible approach to budgeting and spending, Rubin hopes to encourage a political culture that prioritizes the financial health of the nation. As the discussion progresses, Rubin addresses the polarization within American politics, particularly the divide between the two major parties. He acknowledges that many individuals are driven by a visceral dislike of political opponents, particularly Donald Trump. He argues that this animosity often overshadows rational discourse and leads to a lack of understanding of the underlying issues at play. He believes that many people are confused about their political beliefs due to the influence of mainstream media and cultural narratives. Rubin emphasizes the need for open dialogue and a willingness to engage with differing viewpoints. He suggests that the current political climate has created an environment where individuals are more likely to retreat into echo chambers rather than seek common ground. By fostering a culture of understanding and respect for differing opinions, he believes that society can begin to bridge the divide and work towards solutions that benefit everyone. Immigration emerges as a critical topic in the conversation, with Rubin expressing concerns about the current policies and their implications for American society. He argues that the influx of immigrants, particularly under Democratic leadership, could exacerbate existing issues in urban areas. He believes that the lack of accountability and the promotion of sanctuary cities contribute to rising crime and social unrest. He advocates for a more measured approach to immigration that prioritizes the safety and well-being of American citizens. Rubin's perspective on immigration is rooted in a belief in the importance of borders and the need for a coherent immigration policy. He argues that a responsible approach to immigration should involve ensuring that newcomers are integrated into society in a way that respects the rule of law and promotes social cohesion. By addressing the challenges associated with immigration, Rubin hopes to create a more stable and prosperous society for all. The conversation also touches on the influence of global elites in shaping political narratives and policies. Rubin expresses skepticism about the motivations of powerful individuals and organizations that seek to promote their agendas at the expense of the average citizen. He argues that the concentration of power among a select few can lead to policies that do not reflect the needs and desires of the broader population. He believes that this dynamic contributes to a growing sense of disillusionment and frustration among everyday Americans. Rubin's critique of global elites highlights the importance of accountability and transparency in governance. He advocates for a political system that prioritizes the voices of ordinary citizens rather than catering to the interests of the wealthy and powerful. By challenging the influence of global elites, Rubin hopes to empower individuals to take an active role in shaping their communities and the political landscape. Elon Musk's involvement in the political discourse is another focal point of the conversation. Rubin expresses admiration for Musk's willingness to engage in the political arena and advocate for free speech and individual rights. He believes that Musk's influence can help reshape the conversation around governance and accountability. Rubin argues that Musk's success in various industries demonstrates the potential for innovation and progress when individuals are free to pursue their ideas without excessive government interference. Rubin envisions a future where Musk's ideas and initiatives can contribute to a more efficient and effective government. He believes that Musk's focus on technology and innovation can help address some of the systemic issues facing society. By leveraging Musk's expertise and vision, he hopes to create a political environment that fosters creativity and problem-solving. As the discussion continues, Rubin emphasizes the significance of local governance in addressing the challenges facing communities. He argues that individuals should have more control over their local governments and the policies that affect their lives. Rubin believes that empowering local leaders to make decisions tailored to their communities can lead to more effective governance and better outcomes for residents. Rubin's advocacy for local governance reflects his belief in the importance of individual agency and accountability. He argues that when citizens are actively engaged in their local political processes, they can hold their leaders accountable and work towards solutions that align with their values. By promoting local governance, Rubin hopes to create a more responsive and responsible political system. The conversation concludes with a reflection on the future of American politics and the potential for change. Rubin expresses optimism that despite the challenges facing the nation, there is an opportunity for a resurgence of individual rights and freedoms. He believes that by fostering a culture of open dialogue and understanding, Americans can work together to address the pressing issues of the day. Rubin's vision for the future of American politics is rooted in a belief in the resilience of the democratic system. He argues that by prioritizing individual rights and empowering citizens to take an active role in governance, the nation can navigate the complexities of modern society. In closing, Rubin urges listeners to take an active role in shaping the future of their communities and the nation. He emphasizes the importance of voting and engaging in political discourse, encouraging individuals to stand up for their beliefs and values. Rubin believes that by working together and fostering a culture of understanding, Americans can create a brighter future for themselves and future generations.